Hello, Dr. Coker here, and this is a story recap for Shadowfen in the Elder Scrolls Online. This is part of the Ebonheart Pact storyline. Previously in Deshaan, a messenger named Ganthus asked you to speak with Vice Canon Hrondar with help investigating some murders. That's what brings us to Shadowfen. When you arrive, Hrondar mentions that the murders are stirring up tensions between the Argonians and the Dark Elves, and some suspect a group of Argonian assassins known as the Shadowscales. He then suggests you start by speaking to the victims' families. One victim had debts all over the city, so it's no use. After that, a grieving husband is thankful you're looking into it and gives you a key to the mortuary. Before going there, you speak with one more man who really doesn't like the Argonians and suspects the Shadowscales.
I'm no bigot, but if you ask me, the world would be a better place without those scaly fetchers.
Checking out the bodies in the mortuary, all of them have small, precise cuts in the heart or throat, and one appears burned by an unnatural flame. On the way out, a messenger says the grieving husband saw his wife alive and wants to speak with you as soon as possible. You find him wounded on the floor outside his home.
Whatever's in my home, it isn't my wife.
Entering the home, you kill the imposter and find a dead Shadowscale on the floor. He has a note on his body indicating that they're trying to find the killer as well. Returning to Hrondar, you find another Vice Canon, Hist, who says Hrondar is missing.
He's missing, and I fear it's the work of our killer.
She asks you to speak with an agent named Listens to Water. When you get to Listens to Water's hut, you find him dead on the floor, body still warm. Digging through his journal nearby, you find he's been tracking someone named Chomakos, who's been acting strange lately, and was recently spotted carrying a body into some nearby ruins. You go investigate the ruins and find them filled with thugs. After killing a ton of them, you find Vice Canon Hrondar alive but bound in rope. He's happy to see you. Once you untie him, the two of you split up to free other prisoners and agree to meet at the surface.
I owe you my life.
Outside, you run into Hrondar as planned.
Gods, it felt good to bury an axe in their throats. From the prisoners trickling out, I trust you enjoyed yourself as much as I.
He says they're from the Aldmeri Dominion, who've infested the ruins and are stirring up trouble in town. There is a Daedric ruin nearby called Ten Mawr Walk, where he suspects they may be camping. Moments later, you join the Vice Canon's company in Ten Mawr Walk. He says he was joined by the other Vice Canons, but they were ambushed and got separated. He confirms the Dominion are camped here, and you agree to cross enemy lines to look for the other Vice Canons. Moments later, in a cave, you find Hist. She says she doesn't want to be rescued.
We don't need rescuing. We need Hrondar to recognize we're bait in another Dominion trap. Tell him I won't allow such wasteful theatrics on our behalf.
So you head back to Hrondar to warn him. On the way, you find one of his men dead and accidentally spill a vial of something from his body onto yourself. It appears to have no effect, and you hear a voice telling you you aren't like the others and you can keep your own face. Moving on, you find another soldier gravely wounded who tells you the enemy is wearing their faces and posing as them.
Those skin stealers wore our friends' faces to betray us from within. Do you think that they have my face now?
After that, you find another soldier named Ukatse who's tied to an altar, and as you set him free, you're attacked. After dispatching the attacker, you rendezvous with Ukatse back at the cave where Hist is hiding. He says Hrondar's personal guard took him away, and he fears they may be imposters as well. You and Ukatse decide to stick together and track down Hrondar. Together, you find Hrondar's body, as he is dead, but something is very odd.
Something's wrong. He smells very dead.
It appears he has been dead for a very long time. The two of you conclude that the Hrondar you've been speaking with has been an imposter the whole time, and are afraid of what pact secrets have been given to the Dominion. Ukatse mentions a hill that the imposter Hrondar ordered others to stay away from, so you decide to check it out. You find a portal and jump in. You appear in a Daedric temple and find a bound Dremora named Lyrinth. She tells you that the alchemist Rúvatar is behind this, but anyway, she wants to make a deal with you.
You must find the pair of altars binding me, further inside the complex. Do so, and I pledge to share the Dominion's plans and direct you to their most prized possession. Also, I pledge not to violate your corpse on your burial day. A true bargain.
You don't see any other choice, so you head deeper into the temple, but then you find an Argonian named Bijot. He says he was here to steal some Daedric artifacts for cash when the place became swarmed with Dominion soldiers and he's been hiding. His friends are trapped in glowing rocks, which he claims is the mechanism for the skin stealing, and he's been watching Ruvatar. You decide to help rescue his friends by smashing the rocks, and in exchange, he can help you stop the skin stealers. You run around the lower levels and smash all the rocks. Then report back to Bijot. He says they've hoarded vast amounts of Hist sap for their dark magic and we need to destroy the vats. He asks you to distract the Dremora while he opens the vault.
Maybe you can get something useful out of that Dremora before she realizes you double-crossed her. If you keep her busy, I'll open the door.
By stalling with her, you get some useful information.
Very well. Ruvatar used Hist sap and my stolen essence to create his skin stealers. The Hist sap is what steals the victim's memories. It's all to acquire the Mnemic Egg. With it, he has all of Black Marsh.
Before you can glean any more info, she notices Bijot opening the vault. Abandoning the Dremora, you proceed inside and burn all the Hist vats. Then you come face to face with Hrondar's imposter and defeat him.
Quick!
Bijot helps you escape, and you head straight to Vice Canon Servina to report.
Did that work?
She tells you everyone managed to get out alive, aside from Hrondar, and you tell her about Ruvatar and the Mnemic Egg.
I'll appoint Ukatse to lead the scouts in our search for Ruvatar. I swear to you, he'll account for the Dominion's terror.
She then confesses she knows little about this Mnemic Egg, but says the Argonian keepers at the hatching pools will know more.
Rendezvous with our forces at the hatching pools. We must learn what the Dominion plans for the Mnemic Egg.
Arriving outside the hatching pools later, you find that Servina is grieving after learning that the Dominion butchered a keeper who tended to the hatchlings. She tells you to enter the pools, kill the Dominion soldiers, and find Keeper Uxith A. You find Uxith A, and he says the Dominion isn't killing keepers who stay at the pools. He has no idea what their plans are.
Before we begin the hatching, I wish to know the Dominion's intentions.
You offer to help, so he tells you to light some braziers and then speak with his assistant.
Muckwallow for good.
The assistant is furious.
Keeper Uzathay can go count his scales. A Dominion dryskin cooked and ate one of our unhatched eggs. Though I'm sworn to the shell, I will not allow him to harm another.
She's too angry to help, so you run off to kill the offender.
The lizard put you up to this? I'll eat her young.
You return to Keeper Uxith A and tell him the Dominion are killing hatchlings, but the Vice Canon is bringing reinforcements. You agree to protect the hatchlings as he begins the hatching ritual.
We gather by the boughs of the Hist. What have they? No, this cannot be. What have they done?
Ahate! No!
The Dominion. They'll doom us all.
Horrified, the Keeper says the Hist is gone and a void will consume the eggs. He offers himself as a sacrifice to stop the void and asks you to protect the eggs. After saving what eggs you can, you return to the assistant who tells you the Keeper is dead and says the Dominion must possess a powerful artifact to accomplish what they did. You mention the Mnemic Egg.
Then the danger is graver than I thought. The Mnemic Egg bears the memories of the Hist. Severing our link is the least they could do with it.
You escape the hatching pools and speak with Vice Canon Servina again. She praises your work but feels guilty about not arriving in time to help. You tell her that the Dominion is using the Mnemic Egg to stop the hatching ritual, and she says they must be holding it in a place of power in Shadowfen.
I think I know. When our scouts found signs of Dominion soldiers to the west, Vice Canon Hatamine led a contingent of soldiers to an Aliad ruin called Loriacel. Hurry there and tell her what you know. If you'll excuse me, I have vermin to clear from the hatching pools.
As you head to the ruins, you meet Garant Nulim Malim, who tells you that Vice Canon Hadamin is heading to the ruins now. You find Hadamin outside the ruins and tell her about the Mnemic Egg and the Dominion's plans to sever the link between the Hist and the Argonians. She tells you to search the remains from their fight with Dominion soldiers while she rallies with her troops. Rummaging through bodies, you find notes and journals indicating that Rúvitar has been experimenting on Argonians using Hist, and his prize is Cyrodiil. You find another soldier and tell him that you're about to enter the ruins and that Hadamin is rallying the troops. Inside the ruins, you help a Khajiit named Khazdi, who's horrified about what Rúvitar is doing, and she helps you open the seal to his chamber. As a Khajiit, she is a Dominion soldier, so you ask how you know you can trust her.
Simple. Khazdi wishes to stop the clawless High Elf who kills swamp lizard babies and leaves Dominion soldiers to die. And see elsewhere again, maybe. If Khazdi shows you how to remove seal on door, you splatter Rúvitar. Deal?
She agrees to keep her hands bound, then leads the hero to magic beacons that must be lit to open the seal. Once the seal is open, you meet Hadamin outside the chamber. She asks about Khazdi, the Dominion soldier you're traveling with, and you tell her she helped you unseal Rúvitar's chamber. You leave her fate in the Vice Canon's hands. After this, you head into Rúvitar's chamber and face him.
No! I've truly unlocked its secret!
You defeat him, then seek out the Mnemic Egg. You find the egg, and Hadamin says she needs to touch it first, as she doesn't know what they've done with it.
Vice Canon? Is everything all right? The Mnemic Egg holds her in some form of trance. We must wake her.
Nulim Malim says we need to touch the egg as well to save the Vice Canon. Doing so takes you somewhere, and you see Hadamin.
You touch the Mnemic Egg, yes? Then our minds join within the Hist itself.
Exploring the Hist dream, you find angry spirits who are confused and blame the wrong people, including the Dark Elves who were trying to help. As you explain the truth to them, they vanish.
Leave our brother with a truth, Fleshwalker.
After more exploration, you hear the voice of the Hist, and it thanks you for saving it.
In seasons to come, we'll grow and blossom. Our roots will mingle with the withered roots of our brothers. They will heal as we do. You've made our future whole. Go now, and be blessed.
You awaken on a ship, and Hadamin is present. She's never felt better, and she explains that they're headed for Skyrim to bring the Mnemic Egg to the Pact.
The meeting will take place in Skyrim instead of Mournhold. The Nord ruler has his own artifact to contribute to the moot. Time to set sail for the land of ice and snow.
The boat is still docked, and she invites you to join her. You do, and arriving in Eastmarch, you and the Vice Canon go your separate ways for a time. Thus ends the story of Shadowfen. I hope you enjoyed this. Stick around for the next video, the story of Eastmarch. Until next time.